Great to welcome in Hannah Horne, Vice President of Public Policy and Programs for the Hilton-Bluffton Chamber of Commerce. Hannah, government getting back to work finally this week, statewide and nationwide. Doesn't appear we got a whole lot coming from the federal government, so let's at least start as locally as we can get. State government, the House back in session. What kind of help for local businesses could be coming from the legislature?
Yeah, definitely. Let's unpack this, both state and federal. We can begin state. That's a great place to start. So indeed, state legislators are back in Columbia this week. COVID interrupted their legislative session, so they put everything on pause, have been kind of piecemealing together CARES Act funding, as well as a couple of different issues that have been at the forefront, but they are back in earnest this week to be able to take care of some things. So some of the really big things on their plate to take care of course, first and foremost, the state budget, little $9 billion spending plan. The House, the Senate, and the governor have all issued recommendations on how to spend the money to keep it either at last year's spending levels, the provisos stay in place, or to kind of rework that. But one really big thing that they have to do is they had an extra $668 billion to spend. Let me correct that. $668 million. Sorry, I got billions and millions. Ooh. Yeah, CARES Act has kind of upped the ante, has it not? $668 million, I apologize, to spend. And in those recommendations, and this is important, this is the question you asked, what could be coming? Well, there are small business, minority businesses, as well as nonprofit grants that are included in those spending plans. So fingers crossed, they get something passed and begin enacting that. There's also some monies set aside for local counties, municipalities as well to be able to spend. Another couple things they're going to be looking at, business liability protections to protect those businesses that are trying to protect customers and employees from the COVID virus and putting PPE in place, as well as other things like there's a hate crimes bill they're talking about and business licensing reform. It is still at the forefront of conversations. All
right, that takes care of things statewide. Nationwide, doesn't look like there's going to be any particularly large relief package to help regular citizens. Is anything going to come out from the feds between now and Election Day?
Great question. The short answer is no, not before Election Day.
It doesn't look like
fear. Congress has not been able to agree on a fourth round of stimulus. And depending on what name that they've given it, even as of last week, they just could not come up with the votes that they needed to be able, even a smaller pared down version of a fourth round couldn't come to. But President Trump, as you remember, did enact his executive powers to be able to piecemeal kind of a patchwork together of some COVID related stimulus for the American people. And among those, there was that expansion of pandemic unemployment. So states, including South Carolina now, are eligible for that additional $300 a week of unemployment. So if you are still on the unemployment rolls, make sure you take advantage of that. He also proposed a payroll tax holiday. That's that 6.5% of payroll taxes that we pay in our check every single week. However, or month, whenever you pay, whenever you get your check. But a lot of businesses and workers don't want to take advantage of that because keep in mind, a payroll tax holiday is different than a payroll tax deferment or it going away. You would still have to pay that come back at the first of the year. So we don't want to have to owe the government money and just not have to pay it now. Residential evictions are continuing to be banned. So that's going to help a lot of folks that are on the cusp of losing their homes. So landlords aren't allowed to evict right now. And then federal student loan payments are on hiatus right now. You can still be paying if you want to, but interest, you're not required to, and interest is not accruing. So, Bob, there's some stuff going on. It's just not in the form of any pot of gold or pot of money like loan forgiveness or anything, not yet.
Okay. Quickly, let's talk about some good news here on the island. You all, we talked a couple of weeks ago about an initiative that you all had created to create some opportunities for teachers on the island to do some things. Tell us about it.
Our Project Connect program aims every year to put school supplies in the hands of teachers and students. We're talking about families now because their e-learning is happening in Beaufort County. So we received a generous grant from the Walmart Foundation as well as other organizations. The Chamber pitched in, Palmyra Inn and Suites, Hub International. And American Airlines, you're hearing about it first, donated some earpods to us, earbuds for students to be able to learn. In all, we're going to be able to grant the wishes of at least 32 teachers, more to come. If any business wants to donate to that project, we will keep giving it to teachers and fulfilling wishes as quick as we can, as long as we can keep the fund replenished. 32 teachers, though. That equates to about 5,000 students in Hilton Head and Bluffton.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Hannah. We want to remind folks there are debates that are going to be online. Check the Chamber website, local debates for all of the different candidates, interviews with those candidates coming up. We do that as well. Thank you so much, Hannah. Hannah Horne of the Hilton Head Bluffton Chamber of Commerce. And up next, where's the town of Hilton Head on any number of issues, from coronavirus to Celebration Park to the bridges as we head into the fall.